One. Alright, hi everybody. Welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. As you can see, my cat is hugging my chair today. He's very happy. I believe we're on session 97, where... Yeah, 97. Yeah, that's right. So, previously, the Menagerie had found their way leaving Green Hill and the remnants of the curse and the ritual and all that they were able to fort and essentially save Green Hill, though there were many casualties. They traveled up along the Mason Fair Byway up to the junction, which took about 6 days or so, accompanied by a number of traveling caravans and merchants and such, all headed up and towards the destination of Volpine or Whitlaw, which are two well, one's a town and one's the major metropolis in the area. However, upon getting close to Whitlaw, Al, Dregnar, Rock, and Davis took it upon themselves to go on a little detour where they re-entered for them, a familiar area known as the Swine Fields, where horrible atrocities and eldritch horrors were encountered many months ago by the group. But there they had a parcel, something buried, that they buried themselves and left a marker to be able to find. They found the location, which was Simon Ethenberg's and Bray Ethenberg's run-down, disheveled shack, seemingly untouched since they left, and they dug up the bag. Inside this bag is a hefty sum of gems, jewels, and other valuables. However, thanks to their previous exposure to this, they are very keenly aware that it has a very terrible curse placed upon it. But they scoop up the bag anyways, in hopes of possibly being able to either, well, one, I believe, was to decurse the objects, and then therefore landing themselves some sizable wealth, or two, perhaps they're strong enough, if that's not the case, to decurse, to destroy these items. Rejoining the caravan that continued heading up, it stopped at a Pathmaker's Rest. Essentially, it's at the junction where the Mason Fair Byway splits into the North and the South Mason, as it needs to be able to go around all the massive hills of the area to the west. And the group is stopped and corralled and kept there by a contingency of the Verdant Cause, there to direct and deflect everyone up and along the Mason Fair, either coming from the east, from the south, doesn't matter, deflecting them up and to take the northern path to the metropolis of Whitlaw for documentation and essentially some sort of questioning. And it is extremely unusual that people were coming from the south, as it had been blockaded for months due to, well, as they understood it, giant activity. Seemingly having a difficult time to get any information from the Verdant Cause members on duty, including the captain, which I believe was Johnson. The Menagerie kind of went to threats, and they also implored their friend Meeker, who is the sheriff over at Volpine, to come and help. A rider was dispatched. Meeker was gathered, but before that, the Menagerie did interact with some of the guards and some of the other merchants that were amongst them. Most notably, Dregnar and CJ, not CJ, and Rock, interacted with a young gnomish girl by the name of Elma, who had heard Rock's inquisitions and pleas to know about the status of the swine folk, which were met basically with disregard and insane looks, as no one really knew what he was talking about. But Elma, this little, you know, pre-teen gnome girl, knew and assured him that they are doing okay and that her daddy could inform him more. And it turned out that her father was one of the members of the council of the joint settlements of the Foxwood, which Volpine happens to be one of the settlements of the Foxwoods. There, they got some information. They played with the comb, giving Elma blue hair, sky blue hair, and then additionally her father agreed to it. And they kind of settled down for the night. Rock constructing his sandcastle tower. However, in the night, a couple things happened. Davis, for the first time in a while, had one of his dreams that he believes is associated with the Hearthguard, his magical glaive. And Al woke to find Davis sweating, his body heat greatly risen, and upon attempting to wake him, Al received a sucker punch. However, Davis did eventually wake, and that brief moment of looking to the east, he very quickly saw a shooting star fly in the direction of what he would assume is Carver. Also, at that time, Meeker had arrived with an escort and with the verdant cosmog that summoned him. Quickly going to gather and meet Meeker. Davis and Al talked with him a bit. They realized that the main issue here is not that you guys could not get away from this checkpoint, but that doing so would probably cause some sort of repercussions for those that are responsible for it. And it appeared at the end of the session that the Menagerie had agreed to take Meeker's offer to travel north with them along the Mason Fair, so that he could hopefully expedite any type of documentation and paperwork at the checkpoints at Whitlaw to allow the group to travel quickly out. The only other thing of note is that the Menagerie is aware that there is the Festival of Colors coming up in the next few days, which will consume the weekend, which is basically a celebration of the vibrancy of life returning to the land as winter transitions to spring. So, I am going to say, is there anything you guys have any questions before we start actually rolling this stuff?
Is that the time period that we're currently in is going into spring, or is it going into fall?
Going into spring, because keep in mind, for us
We were
northern
at
hemisphere
okay.
folk,
I understand now.
you're in the southern hemisphere down
The
there.
time skip when we fixed up Green Hill.
Yeah, it took over a month, so it really pushed the timetables. And just because it's just because it's winter at going here, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like snow capped, right? It's just it's chilled, it's cool, but you are essentially in an area of this part of this continent that is known as the harvest reach. It's essentially fertile farmlands for the most part, 24/7, 363, because we're in materia. So, like all year round. So, any other questions? Groovy. All right. So it would probably take you guys about another 4 days of travel with the caravans, accompanied by Meeker, to reach the outskirts of Whitlaw, which, as I mentioned at the end of last session, could very well be, just fast played if that's something you wish, unless if you guys had some things you wanted to discuss per whatever you guys did over the weekend or during the week in your private channel.
maybe even before we get there, when I came back to the caravan that holds all of our friends, since we're traveling for like 4 more days,
Okay.
I'm gonna show off my new shirt. Hey,
Oh
Carlos, look
yeah.
at this new shirt.
That's a very
Sh-
fine shirt.
I had it made custom by one of these other craftsmen.
Yeah. What material did you want it to be made out of? Do you remember?
It could be anything like silk.
No.
I don't know.
I was thinking like like heavy woven silks, almost kind of like multi-layered, kind of.
Yeah, wool into silk, something ornate. Yeah,
I got you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Multi, multi different types of cloth.
Yeah. I will
I
tell
wanted
you
to make
this.
like the burly like part of it, and then parts of it
Hmm.
different for like the ornaments.
Yeah, and you kind of did share. It's basically like what, like a. I don't remember what it's actually called, but it's almost like a Catholic priest's robe, right? In a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But however,
I
cut
posted a
shorter and
picture of
everything.
exactly what I was looking like
Yeah.
for,
Hmm.
or like
Understood.
I don't remember. Oh, there it is, right there.
Yeah.
It's it's like a smock,
A s-
something to wear over
yeah.
your like you know.
Perfect.
It's worn as a shirt because I don't wear too much under it
Yeah.
anyway. But
Yeah, and it kind of plays with your light, uh, light, airy clothing kind of approach since you wear the large baggy harem pants and all that. They did
exactly,
a very the ladies and that did the custom work took into consideration some of your custom orders, getting the details of the sun, and essentially the essence of you in it with whites, golds, some reds, very much very Sej and very expensive. Karos, you can instantly just look at that and realize that that is probably worth more than some people make in a year.
I probably
Wow.
spent too much on it. But it, as a person of Loxodon size and strange country, you kind of
Yep.
have to go custom.
Yep, yep.
Far be it from me to judge a man's tastes in finery,
Mm-hmm.
but a bit beyond my style. He kind of like looks down at what he's wearing, that he's been wearing for like, God, ages. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
maybe I could get a new shirt.
Well,
a second, a second shirt.
perhaps you could find some good leathers, something agile. I don't know.
Well, as Rock is kind of part of the conversation. He'll also be like, we have all those weird bits and pieces from some of those animals and beasts and trophies that Zarya had. I'm sure. I mean, I'm not a craftsman. I don't think any of us are really that crafty. But if we end up going to that Whitlaw place, maybe we can find some people to do some work.
No, Rock, you make a great point. I didn't even think of using the raw materials that we've acquired so far. That's a good idea.
I mean, that or I can just feed it to the bag. I mean, I kind of want the bag to be on my side.
No, 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 no.
Okay. Okay. So.
I think that's not a great idea. You had a great idea at the beginning, but now this one's awful.
But why is it awful? Like, we have a thing that can just get rid of anything. Evidence. Evidence deleting bag. Yeah? Enemy deleting bag.
Very grim, but
When you put
true.
it that way, yeah. All I'm saying is, I think the bag is last in line as far as calling dibs on any of the stuff we have.
Davis
But
will
he's in
kind of.
line.
Davis will kind of stuff. He's like, if we're talking about the not bag of holding bag, definitely no. But if we're talking about the shiny bag, what are we gonna do about that, guys? We're going to a we're going to a place that has tens of thousands of people. There's gotta be thieves and cut purses, right? Are we really?
Somebody's going to end up with it, that's for sure, no matter what happens. But what's wrong with the bag? I don't remember hearing about this.
Oh.
If I did, I forgot.
No, you weren't there. Al? You got this? Rock?
Yeah, sure. Well, we found it months ago. Around the time we found Dregnar as well. Um, I think as a menagerie, it was the first cursed item we came across.
Uh,
Was it Rock who picked it up?
I am not a cursed item, thank you very much.
Sorry, the other thing.
No.
It might be both. We're still trying to figure
Hey,
that
hey,
out.
you watch your mouth.
Rockwell. Yeah, I touched it. That's. We learned.
You touch what?
The bag,
Oh,
not
the
the one
bag?
bag. The other bag.
Well,
Oh, okay.
not the bag. It's that bag. Fuck that bag. But not my evil eating bag. I love my evil eating bag. But so, and Rock will kind of interject. He's like, so we went inside this bad. He wasn't originally bad, but he came bad. We don't know if it's because of the items he became bad, or because he just kind of got exposed to the magic of the bags, or the items inside the bag. But he ended up being a really bad guy. He ended up killing a lot of people, ended up making a mutant cow, killing the mutant cow, harvesting its organs, creating an army of pig people, which then we kind of sort of liberated, and now they're the swine folk. But no one seems to know about the swine folk, except for that little girl Emma. That Emma said that the swine folk were doing okay, and they're in the woods.
So there's some cursed money in there, and it makes you want all the money, and you'll do anything for all the money. Is I
And then
think
you
what
don't
Rock is
see
trying
the
to
cursed
say.
items eventually. It's like a curse of blind greed.
Blind green. Yeah, yeah, it really is, isn't it?
Yeah, because apparently when we were, I don't. Somehow I had a vision, and somehow we saw that Simon, who now is some sort of spooky, scary hedge wizard, blood mutant monster creating guy. I don't get it, but apparently he came across the bag from a drunkard elf. I think it was an elf. He had pointy ears, so probably an elf in the streets. And then he opened the bag, and there's, well, what's in the bag is in the bag, and it's a lot of wealth. And he started spending it, and then apparently he didn't realize that he still had it, and he was going mad because he was somehow losing his wealth, and it drove him to insanity. But it was literally sitting on the table right in front of him. But he couldn't see it. So yeah, curse of blind greed.
You all have really bad luck with luggage.
I was gonna say the same thing.
You wouldn't believe.
A bag luck streak with bags.
Hey. And he snaps, and his little, this oversized quill, like poofy white, just kind of magically lifts itself off of his, his collection of things on his shell, and he's like, I still got this. That's not bad. Look, it writes for me. And he just kind of holds out like a quick little parchment, and it just says, my name is Rock, and you see the quill. See? Ha! Good luggage.
Unless that's an invisible demon writing it.
I'll whisper to Sedge. You want to let him know that that's not luggage?
No, we'll let him be. I'll take a happy rock for now instead of,
Sure, no judgment.
The quill just continues to write as you guys are talking.
Why does it keep saying, die, all will die, bow beneath me, death?
You should see
I kind of lost.
Rock.
All I see is red rum. Red rum.
Rock just freaks out, grabs the parchment, looks at it, he's like, hey! He was just saying everything you guys were saying. Wow, he can do that. Okay.
Whoa, Rock, is that a Asmodeus summoning circle? The quill drew that? Oh my god.
I hate all of you. Hey, bad fortunes upon all of you.
The best soup is turtle soup.
I don't have to take this.
But I think the point that Davis was trying to make that yeah, along with any pickpockets, I think they're checking everybody's stuff at the gate to Whitlaw, is what I think we heard back at the fork in the road.
Well, why can't we just give it to Meeker? We trust Meeker and have him bring it and store it. You know, if anyone here is qualified to handle that kind of stuff, it would be him.
That's
I
true,
don't
but I have a few reservations about handing over a cursed pillage of any kind willingly. That sounds awful, but I mean, I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Because
if
either that or bring it into a town full of thousands and thousands of people.
I'm not sure if I can even do anything about it. Let me think on it.
I think it'd be safer to get rid of it than bring in the Whitlaw in its current state. But
I say give it to Meeker, tell him what it is, and if he doesn't want to bring it into Volpine, he can hide it somewhere. That way we don't even know where it is.
did the caravan say we're 3 or 4 days out at our
Yeah.
current pace?
Yeah.
I'm assuming we haven't left the checkpoint yet, right?
Yeah. We kind of are back playing it just a little bit, where the
Okay.
direction is Whitlaw, seemingly all agreed. Meeker, as he mentioned, will travel with you guys and try to expedite any of the checkpoint paperwork stuff.
If we can't figure out any way to uncurse this item, I think Meeker's the next best
Can I uncork
idea.
the thing of holy
He's the next
water
best
that
person
I
we need to
have
list.
and slowly drip one drip onto the bag or coin?
Sure. Are you just onto the bag?
Yeah,
Okay.
just to see. Curiosity kills me.
It burns us.
It might not do anything. I'm just curiosity is
Yeah,
killing
so
the
as you
elephant.
very carefully, tilt your little beaker of holy water, and yeah, as one drop, you get a couple drops actually to come out, the bag doesn't react.
So we're still not sure if the bag. I'm saying this to Sedge. We're still not sure if the bag is mundane or if it just takes time to take effect. No, no. When Rock grabbed a coin, that was pretty instant, right?
Yeah,
Maybe for
Rock
the
will
day.
say, the bag I think is just fancy and frustrating.
If you truly don't want it, I guess you could feed it to the other bag. Bag on bag
I'm,
violence.
I like the
Yeah,
Meeker idea a little better.
but we really don't know what the ramifications of putting a powerful magic item that's cursed inside of another powerful magic item. I'm no expert on
That's.
magic, but all my experiences that has ended badly.
I'm a religious man, so I agree. I don't know. Sounds dangerous.
Uh, somebody roll me, just roll me a d20. I don't care who.
I put in chat.
Okay. 12
You
plus
don't get the royalty 20s anymore.
12, 24.
Oh, okay. I had my
So,
one.
That's above average.
yeah, so Rock will come say, bag on bag violence. Let's see. I don't. I know that there's ways to lift a curse off of someone. I think, many of us that practice magic can do this with some training and some patience, but I I don't believe I have that in my tome. Um, we are going to a big city, so maybe I can find a way to get that ability.
That
But
sounds like a plan.
I
I
still.
too, I too probably have some knowledge of something to do, but I'll have to also look at my tones. So I'm with you there.
But
We could think on it ourselves. If we don't come up with an answer, then
yeah, I do think we're just gonna have to stretch the limitations. So we might. So, Al, remember when you were laying on the thing and we did
Thing
the thing?
Huh.
with the
Yeah.
thing.
It might be that we need to do like multiple people working together to try to remove any of the bad stuff from Not the bag itself, but the gems and the jewels and the rings and all that stuff inside. If you want to, you can try dropping holy water inside of it. Sash?
What's the worst that can happen?
Not
It
the whole
opens
thing,
a
but I'd
fucking
drop it on
portal
the.
and a demon walks through.
I'd at least I'd like get a couple drops like I did on the outside of the bag onto like the inside of the bag without pulling them out.
Okay.
Whatever the contents it might be, gems or whatever.
Yeah, so like inside of it, just to kind of give you a visual, it's just a collection of small things that add up to be worth a lot. Like first glance says, this is your first time actually looking inside of the contents of the bag. You've been around, wealth and everything. It's
Yep.
thousands upon thousands upon thousands of gold worth of just rings, coins, parchments, like small little tapestries, all types of little items of wealth that very quickly add up to be worth a lot.
This is a lot. Are you trying to keep all this? Is that what we're doing?
I'll never understand the greed of people.
We don't.
I'm Wealth has its uses, that's for certain, but
Now, okay, James out of game does not want you guys to destroy that because it could help us out. But Dregnar's like, fuck that, wealth is evil.
I mean Dregnar has definitely lived off the wealth of the land, and that's it
Yes,
for a long
that's
time.
it. I got like 9. I've had like 9 gold since I began the game.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be done, but I don't know. This is a scary amount of wealth for almost anybody still.
Well,
Well, the one good thing is if we do this, we could use some of it, if not all of it, to help the people of Green Hill get back on their feet.
I was thinking the same thing, but it's not my bag to decide.
well, Davis will speak up. I don't know how we all feel, but I think that bag is bad news. However, if we can fix it, then it is, I guess, somewhat your wealth as well, because you and Karos are a menagerie.
And you can have my share. I have no need for it.
I mean,
And I
he
am
needs it just to get
well off on my own, to be honest with you. I don't need it.
you know,
I also didn't find it.
but we might be.
So,
Okay.
we agreed to give it to Meeker then?
Davis will say, yeah, better than putting in a big city.
Whoever gives it to Mika should do their due diligence of describing their experience with it and exactly what it is.
Hmm.
So
That sounds like an owl job.
Yeah,
Okay,
Al,
we go.
you're the talker.
You're the talker.
our charismatic music man.
Yeah, that word.
He'll pull out the loot just for a little.
And that's why we voted you.
All right, let it be done.
Davis
I've
was
already
like,
got
"Do you
Rock's
need
side of
me
the
to-
story.
Do you need me to come with you, buddy?
Tag along if you want to. We get this out of the way now. Is there anything else to talk about before? Don't play anything while I'm gone. All I'm saying.
I think even though we're in the midst of peaceful times and mostly friends, it's still probably pretty good idea to not travel alone.
Well, us three can stay here, and Rock and Al, maybe Davis can go talk with Meeker. They're the ones that know him the best.
Sounds good.
Actually, mind if I go with you, Al, too? I've been in the caravan for quite some time recently.
More the merrier.
Time to get out of here for a little bit.
Can you guys do me a favor and go talk to Meeker? Ask him who I should talk to in Whitlaw about my wound.
Most certainly. I have a vague idea. Somebody told us about that College of Curiosities or something. I think that's what they said. That sounded like a good idea.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll ask him too.
Now, Adam, refresh my memory. How do you disattune or deattune to an item?
So with most magic items, I believe you just kind of willingly release the connection,
Okay.
and it will essentially sever the tie.
Okay.
We can double like 5e on a tune.
Unattune, disattune, irritune, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Irregardlessly.
yeah. I mean, for the sake of like generically speaking, like there might be exceptions, but to remove the attunement process is either one that would be a distance kind of thing potentially,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, that has a time associated with too, like 24 hours or something like that, doesn't
yeah,
it?
I'm trying to see what they say in the rules. But like if you're willing to unattune to it or break the attunement, it probably would just be over the course of a rest. So like not very long, like a short rest.
Okay. Well, while they're gone, I want to have a conversation with Kairos, because Kairos, you stand behind, right?
You might be muted, Kyle.
Oh, sorry. Give me the GF was asking me something. I need a re a retelling of the question.
No, I was just asking you. You're staying behind while they're going to go talk to Meeker, right?
Oh, sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, Adam.
I was just gonna say here, I'm posting what they say, so you can voluntarily end the attunement after during a short rest.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna talk with Kairos, just you know, since he's the one here, and I'm gonna be like, the wound that I have that just will not heal, and he said I had to do something with the hag. Whenever she cursed me or didn't.
Did you guys get a little bit of robot on James, or was that me?
Yeah, I got a little
Yeah, a
robot
little
on
bit.
there.
Alright, give it a
A
couple
little bit, but
Yeah,
I'm
seconds,
able to
James.
hear most of it.
okay.
Hopefully your internet will catch back up.
Well,
Mm-hmm. Still a little bit delayed. Give it just a little bit more. Oop, he dropped. Hopefully.
I'm gonna try turning it off and on again.
Yeah, right. No, it's... You,
No, for the disconnect reconnect.
yo.
Oh,
Bruff. Loki being angry. Arrgh.
He hates that internet.
I mean, as he should.
What about now?
Hey.
That
Sounds
sounds
great.
great.
Okay.
wait.
I just had to restart it. So, I want to ask you if you're staying behind because I wanted to talk to you about my wound that does not want to heal.
Yeah, we got to the wound part, and then that's when you went
So,
robot.
Meeker had said that Zarya and her dying wish, breath, whatever, had somehow afflicted me with whatever this is. I was
That's
wondering if I unattune or if I no longer use, I don't want to use the word unattune because that's
I get you.
game mechanics play, but I no longer use the Hearthstone because it is of hag make. It is associated with the hags. And it also gives me the benefit of disease immunity, but this is some kind of disease or something that's affecting me. Do you think it could be amplifying what she did?
mm, I mean, I can't say that I know much the mind and powers of hags beyond what we saw them unleash during our battles, but I wouldn't trust anything of their make much more than I can throw it.
Mm-hmm.
How she cursed you in our final fight, correct?
Yes, as she was, Maker believes as she was dying, whenever I jabbed my brother's claw through her head, she did something.
Did you bring the claw with?
I do have the claw, yes.
I mean, this one thing you could try is have somebody else carry each item and see if separation from either has any effect. Can I? Is your wound like visibly exposed?
Yeah, it's like around my shoulder blade. I'm not my shoulder blade, my collarbone, right, Adam?
Yeah, like you can cover it like this, but like you can easily. And it's just
Okay, so I'll show him where it is, right there.
Does it look like it's like still ooze? Does it look like a fresh open wound, or is it just
It's
kind of like
kind of.
it hurts, but it's its own thing?
Yeah, so I get that. It's kind of along the lines of a wound that is in the process of healing, but it can never quite complete the healing process, and it's got like a darker
Like somebody keeps ripping the scab off before it can
kind of,
heal up.
yeah, like you know how it's got like that very first sub layer of skin trying to get there, but it can't seem to get any further, and it very easily will. It won't necessarily like just like easily reopen, but it just won't shut, and there is like a discoloration to it, kind of indicating that it is of maybe not the most natural origin.
Um, I'll kind of like lean in, give a sniff. Does it smell like it's
It
going bad? Like, I
yeah,
mean, assuming.
yeah, it smells like the best way. It doesn't necessarily smell like just like rot. It smells essentially the best way I can explain the odor would be like really bad breath, like really 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 bad breath. It's not a pleasant odor at all. Um,
Kind of see him wrinkle up his face a little bit. Well, that certainly doesn't smell right, but on the upside, I've smelled wounds of those who went too long without seeking medical aid, and it's not like that. It's not. I don't think infection is set.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check. Yeah.
Medicine 9.
Yeah, it's essentially kind of what you said. You're not 100% certain, but like you said, you've seen wounds that have festered, and this doesn't seem to be festering. So, you know.
Okay,
Seems
so
agitated, but there's no. And I'll just kind of like list off like I'll kind of like point without touching, but like I think if there was something else going on here, uh, it'd be more red, more white, have a more sour smell to it. This is definitely odd,
mm,
magic or not.
okay. Well, since I know that they're going off to meet Meeker and all that, and it may take a little bit, I will start the process of unattuning to the Hearthstone to
Okay.
begin with.
Gotcha. So, you find where you're keeping that dark, heart-shaped stone. There you go. Kind of like that. I actually found a GIF. But, meat,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like, it's just... I don't know how you explain that. It's like, yours would be a little bit deeper than what's on the GIF, but it's just not healing, and it's got, like, more, like, instead of, like, that red color would be more like black and purple
Okay.
rather than healing. Yeah. So, yeah, you got the cold. You kind of put it in your hand just to feel that heartstone, and it's frigid to the touch, like it always has been since Davis has given it to you. Donnie, something's
Oh,
coming through. But yeah, alright, you're in the process. So,
Okay.
Sej, Al, and I guess whoever else, Sej, Al, and Seed and Rock are off to talk to Meeker.
Before we exit the building in search of him, I want to try and ask for the satchel so I can carry it.
Sure, I don't recall who had the last, if it was Rock or if it was Davis, but they
that
produce,
definitely wasn't me.
yeah, they produce the satchel, and they, it's got that very detailed exterior with a lot of embossing and all that. Which Al, you kind of remember Rock's breakdown in the Fox Den many, many months ago, yelling if anyone's ever seen this bag. But yeah, you got it. It's it's a hefty bag. It's got a lot of stuff in there.
Ooh. Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna keep that hidden. And I guess we're gonna go off in search of Meeker. See
Sure,
where he's
go ahead
hanging
and
out.
give me a sleight of hand check. See how well you're able to place it like on your person in a indiscreet kind of way.
Hand check. Not. No. No, it's not there.
Sleight of hand check, yeah. You're like trying to find a good place, and you're like, just put it over the shoulder and play it, but kind of blends in with some of your equipment.
Is it that big? Damn.
It's not. I mean, it's it's like a shoulder bag kind of, right? It's like not like a, to use like a women's size. It's not like a full blown size like modern day women's size purse, but it's like a half purse. It's
Ah,
it's
European
sizable.
handbag.
Yeah.
It'll look great on Al. Okay. Okay.
I mean, what you
Got
got
quite the
going
amount
on
of
right
wealth in
now
it,
just
too.
looks like you're
So it's got to be
confused.
kind of heavy,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's got some weight, but for the sake of don't worry, it's not going to encumber you. You're fine.
Oh
Broccoli
shit.
head.
That was.
You're fine.
I think I was more scared of that than you were. The second you said I'm taking the bag and throwing it over my shoulder, I immediately was like, uh-oh.
Whee! Al loses balance and goes flying backwards. Yeah, no. But go ahead.
Mhm. This. Um. Okay. Yeah. Then. Yeah. We'll go in search of Meeker.
Gotcha. Not too difficult. You ask like really quick. One of the guys on stationed here at the rest point, and he'll just kind of point you over. And a few minutes, you spot him with his cowboy-like hat on, just kind of sitting there, seemingly discussing stuff with some more cause members. He hears your footsteps. He's like, Al? Rock? Um, Sej, was it? Yeah, Sej.
You got the right of it.
Mm.
And I'll bow at him.
He'll tip his hat. He'll say, boys, excuse us if you don't mind. And you see the two individuals that he was chatting with kind of get up, take whatever bowl that they're, eating some of their, like, early morning meal with, and just start kind of heading. It's like, you guys sleep well in your fancy sand castle there?
We were able to catch up a bit.
Yes.
That's good.
Well, I think I woke up at some point. I don't remember what for, but it's okay.
Well, help yourselves. There's plenty of soft oats and I guess it's some sort of dried berries. So help yourselves. and to see like like a simple fire made amongst the rest place, simple contraption of that's holding a little
You said
crock pot.
dried berries?
Yeah,
Definitely gonna partake.
yeah. It's essentially just it's like oatmeal, kind of, with just some fruit in it. So,
Didn't mean to interrupt you on the fire and stuff.
we were just talking. I don't even like boring stuff like, oh, I hear that the weather's gonna be a nice day. Oh, did you hear the fact that the trees are starting to grow back? That type of stuff.
I'm gonna like look at Al with like piercing eyes, wondering why he hasn't brought it up yet.
I was scratching out his notebook and like, how's the weather? Okay, how do I start this? No,
Mm,
yeah, fuck it. Hey, we're hoping to ask you a favor if you don't mind.
I mean, sure, you guys, you saved my home. What can I do?
Um, so we got a bit of a shit.
You
Yeah,
have a
We got a
problem?
bag problem.
my my brain dictionary is not working.
A very baggy problem.
Baggy problem. Okay. Is it the
I
one that
couldn't
you
think of
guys
the word
mentioned eats
luggage.
things?
No, no, not that bag. That bag is far too dangerous for anybody to be honest.
Okay.
Um, this bag's a little safer. That's the big thing is that it is dangerous for sure. We
We have some special things that we're bringing with us, and we're kind of scared of the gate customs searching situation. We don't
So
want it confiscated and put into the wrong hands.
you're talking about the few crates that the caravan's carrying for you guys? Or is there...
alongside that we have one other bit of luggage. Um, yeah, Al will. No, he's gonna keep it on his shoulder for now. We have a bag. It's got some bit of cursed luggage in it. We're looking for ways to fix it, but yeah, we can't have this getting confiscated.
Where...
It was hard trying to contain it before.
Do I even want to know where you got the bat? Or... I don't need to know. Okay, so what do you need me to do?
Just hang on to
We
it,
just
keep it
need
safe, and
exactly.
a bit of. I'd advise not opening it. It is
Oh, don't worry. If you're saying it's cursed, I don't want to open it, but
right, right.
um
I think it's related to the roots of the incidents in Volpine. I think it traces back that far.
then why are why haven't you gotten rid of it then?
It's on the list.
I'm gonna shrug while gnawing on a cherry.
We tried hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so our next two steps are seeing if it's possible to cleanse it. If not, destruction is the only option we have left.
Oy.
Now, Al,
And even then, we're looking for safe ways to destroy it.
while we were walking over here, I was kind of quiet in contemplation, thinking back on my studies back at the temple, and I think I might have a solution. It's gonna take me a little bit to think on it, but as long as we keep it with us and keep it safe instead of it, falling into the wrong hands, like I said. But I
Well,
might have a way. I might have a solution.
I understand that there's concern. If this is the thing that maybe caused all that disaster back home, then I understand the hesitation of taking it to another place. I mean, I have experience with dark objects and things, but I don't know if I want to take that back home.
Certainly not. I just fear that it would be more dangerous in somebody else's hands if we just let it out of our sights. I
Yeah.
almost fear that more.
So, what do you know? Do you know the nature of the curse on it, or do you know?
I'd say for the most part we do.
Okay.
The bag has the object in it. You touch the object, expose yourself to it. You love the object. You will do anything to maintain. It's
Interesting.
and
How did
then
that cause the problem back? I'm not. Don't worry. I don't need to connect those dots right now.
hmm, but eventually, Rock used the word blind. You can't. It falls out of your own existence. Everybody else can see it. The cursed individual cannot. They go mad trying to find it, trying to
Hmm.
find some resolution, and there isn't one.
Interesting. Well, I mean, certainly I can take it off your hands. Maybe I can look into ask some contacts of mine from my previous life and see if they know how to strip dark enchantments off of objects. Because I know I've seen Navori remove dark magic on a person. But I don't know. Sure, I can take it. I'm not going to take it home though. Probably have to find a place to hide it myself.
Al, maybe for now we just get it inside of Whitlaw with us?
Mm, I think I think if Meeker can hide it well, I think that's our best bet. Um,
Yeah.
right now, we're kind of being watched after what happened yesterday, so I don't think four of us, Davis, me, Rock, and Ragnar
Yeah.
can go back out and
We have the least chance of sneaking it by, that's for sure. Hmm.
Mhm. If you can hide it well, even outside the city, and remember where it is, I think that's our best bet right now.
Will we be
Sure.
able to leave Whitlaw freely?
Well, I mean, I don't see why not. They're not holding people. They're just want to. As far as I understand it, the sovereign has made it so that he wants to know everything that's traveling through the area. So it's basically like paperwork, documentation, and I guess y'all will be free to go.
Sounds like fun.
I mean, I don't see. I'm still going with you guys to try to make it go faster, right? So I'll be taking the
Oh,
bag
absolutely.
afterwards.
I think just before we get to the city, if you don't mind, just so it's off our persons. Hell, if um, does is there like a wagon or a tent anywhere for Meeker?
Oh, he's like, oh, I mean, I would essentially just be riding along, escort for you guys. I'm just gonna be tagging along with the caravan. I think there's 7 or so wagons heading up to Volpine today. The 4 that y'all came with, and some more that came from Volpine and Carver area. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
there'll be a few of the cause members, but we basically escort you up to a point, then hand off, up to a point, hand off.
Sorry. I meant where we're standing right now. Are we like next to a tent or anything?
Oh no, you guys are. I mean, you can say so. Like, yeah, sure, there can be a tent kind of in the closer area, but he was just sitting outside,
Okay.
basically like on some like logs that have been made into like basic benches around a fire, eating some breakfast. But yeah, you can
Um.
go ahead.
Yeah. If yeah, if there's that many caravans and we're traveling for so many days, yeah, we can hold on to it for a few more days, hand it off before we arrive, or if you have space for it now, we can drop it off with you.
Oh, I mean,
Sounds like it'd be safer with us for the time being.
Perhaps we have the curse thing settled before we even get to the city. Even then, it would be the situation wouldn't change. We'd still need somebody, I think, right? Al? They'd
True,
still
true.
take it from us, I think.
well,
Once we get to the city, right?
Yeah, I'm. Yeah,
Rock will
you
kind
still
of,
have the right of it. I'm just.
Rock will kind of pipe up. He's like, well, I mean, we're not. It's annoying if they take the bag with the wealth from us, but it's not. I wouldn't feel bad because then if we got the curse off of it, I'm worried about the curse spreading throughout a giant city.
100%.
And I'm hoping that we can have that solved before we even get to the city. So I'm gonna try my best, but
Okay.
I'm mostly scared of that myself too. I share your same concerns, but our concerns are most realized if we don't get this subtly away from us, I guess. They would certainly take it from us, and then you can almost guarantee that it's going to fall in the worst hands that could.
All right.
That's my fear.
Okay. So we have 2, 3 days worth of travel. See if we can discreetly figure anything out. If not, I guess regardless, we'll entrust it to Meeker to watch over in the city. We'll see if we can get any knowledge on the subject,
I
and
mean,
we'll just meet up at some date down the line.
it. Meeker will say. I mean, yeah. They won't be really checking me because I'm not going into the city, so not too bad. And then, I mean, Widlaw is. It's not just a crossroads of trade and merchants. It's a crossroads of knowledge and the intellectual as well. I mean, you might be able to find someone at the College of Fascinations or even over
Fascinations, that's what it was.
in the Temple District.
Sorry,
I don't.
sorry.
Oh, that's quite alright. I mean, there's plenty of potential minds there that might be able to assist. It's just for every mind that can assist, there's probably a few dozen hands that would just rather steal, right?
Hmm.
It's the
That's
problem.
part of our worry.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Actually, speaking of knowledge, I have one more question. I'm sure yesterday we talked about Dragnar's wound a little bit. You know, maybe a contact, somebody you can find in Whitlaw to maybe help out with that. We definitely want to figure something out about
directly,
that fast too.
I mean, unfortunately, I don't know some sort of magic medicine man up in Whitlaw. My, I would do pretty much the same as I said for the curse. I would check the temple district, see if there's any healers or those of, you know, that may have seen something like him. And if not, like again, College of Fascinations, or you could get lucky and, you know, Seb does have his mall, his little tavern up there. You might get some interesting folk that know, because it is like an adventurer's tavern. But again, I don't know if you necessarily want to announce to people you don't know that you have something like this.
Out of character. Seb is back in Greenhill?
Yeah, Seb's back in Greenhill.
Okay.
So, yeah,
You
go
know if
ahead. Yeah.
there's anybody in the tavern that he really trusts? Like,
Oh, I
really, really?
mean, yeah, his head lady's there.
Huh,
Can't miss her. Strong, strong broad. Uh,
fantastic. Okay.
yeah, you
So,
just ask for patas. She'll,
Patas?
yeah, I believe that's how she spells it. She holds down the bucking mad while, well, Seb stays away from Whitlaw.
This is fantastic. We got a whole laundry list of people to talk to. This is gonna be one of them has to know the answers. This is gonna be good. Thank you.
Hey, I mean, I don't know if any of y'all have ever been to a. Well, okay. I'm sure Saj has been to a place like this, but. I mean, Whitlaw is something else. It is. I mean, it makes Volpine look like a speck of dust.
I'm accustomed to dense areas, yeah, but this is certainly in a different area that I've ever seen anything that dense anyway. So it'll be an experience either way.
Oh, it'll be an experience, especially since that Festival of Colors is happening too.
Festival of Colors. You don't say.
Mm-hmm. It's
What is that about?
well, we don't get it too harshly here. It's like snowfall and all that ain't the most prevalent. We're kind of lucky where we're located. We ain't down far like Mizia, where it's basically burr all the time. But here, Festival of Colors is essentially that whole weekend celebration of transitioning from winter to spring. The green's coming back, making the sky blue again, not gray and cloudy.
I see. And
Basically, it's a
colors, you
it's a
say?
it's a
Do they
week.
just throw colors? Like,
I mean,
that sounds amazing.
they
I
might.
love.
I haven't really gone and celebrated in a while, but basically, it's an excuse to have festivals, carnivals, games, drinking, challenges. You know, chance to make some coin, chance to lose a lot of coin, that kind of
Hmm.
situation.
Sounds like a very fortunate time for us to be forced to go to Whitlaw, I guess, then. It sounds like fun.
Hopefully fun. I mean, I kind of worry since I guarantee you I know word is heading that the menagerie have made it to this checkpoint because I saw a couple of riders get dispatched and I asked some questions, and definitely one of them is that a group claiming to be the menagerie is on their way to Whitlaw. So, the powers that be will be expecting you.
Sadly, I'm somewhat prepared for that, but I wish I didn't have to be.
Mm. Listen, if you're lucky, they're just gonna ask you to join some sort of parade and smile, and then let you be on your
Hey,
merry way.
I'd almost do that for free. I'd rather nobody ask me, though.
Mm. You guys are heroes, whether you like it or not, recognize it or not. And I can say you're heroes twice over because, well, you helped my
I'd
home.
most certainly rather not be. It makes traveling easier.
Yeah, getting a name for yourself. It's weird when people start looking for you.
Isn't it strange when you make a name for yourself in a that You really weren't trying to make a name for yourself. I was trying to really make a name for myself at home, but that didn't work out that good.
Well, I could tell you your friend, he's not amongst you, but Davis, he's been trying to make a name for this group since the day I met him. So, I hope he's not going to regret it too much.
For better or for worse, he's making some headway. We're all making some headway.
And he's a
Yeah.
brilliant leader, too, so he deserves it.
Well, just,
Unless he wants it or not, I don't know.
again, just keep in mind, let's do on the road, try to figure out this bag thing. I'll take it off your hands so that we don't get it into the city. But
I have faint recollection of being taught of curses, and I'm trying to bring it back into memory now.
oh, same.
I might have something to do about it, but I don't know. I'm hoping.
Well, I mean, I can be of assistance. My order usually dealt with the supernatural and the phenomenal. So I have
Maybe
a
I'll bring it here if I attempt to do anything, and I'll have your wits about it as we'll have collective wits about it, I guess.
well, as awkward as your shelled friend is, one of the smartest, not just people, smartest things I've ever run across. He might know something that he doesn't even know. It's He'll help for sure. We got your faith. We got his brains. We got we got Al's exposure to the world, and you got me and my unsavory past. So I'm sure we can maybe make some headway in the next 3 days or so. Actually, speaking of that, he stares right at you, Al. I'm still waiting for some songs. I told you to go out and come back and have some songs.
I've got a whole. There's so many of them I've started. I finished like two of them. But I've started like over 100. I'm getting them all mixed up now. I think I really just need a notebook. I tried keeping them all in my head, but I have a limit. My head actually grew, and I had the afro just to cover it up a little bit, so that looks a little less weird.
Gotcha. Well, I expect at least one song by the time I escort you to Whitlow.
Oh yeah, you'll be hearing it.
Alright. So, I believe the caravan is going to start moving here pretty soon. Finish up y'all's breakfast. I mean, it's easy enough for me to join y'all, being all that has a little bit of authority, so I'll see you guys on the road.
Looking forward to it.
Alright.
Leaving the tent or caravan thing that he's in, I'm gonna bow at him instead of saying anything and take
He
my
will
merry way.
he will oddly, in a very respectful way, mimic you, and he seems to do it pretty naturally.
You're good at that.
Traveled a lot, my friend.
Maybe I'll keep seeing you then.
Stay in this part of the world, he will.
Finger guns on the way out to him.
Finger guns you back. Alright. It's cool. So you guys are able to reconvene with Dregnar and Karos, who are in the process of helping Oxen and the group load up the caravans. Dregnar, during this whole time, you've kind of just, focused on severing that tie, and you will say that that there's a slight, like a weight and a chill that leaves your body
Okay.
as the attunement from this dark item is successfully broken. So you can go ahead and unattune it, but it's still on your person.
On our way back, I'm gonna look at Al and be like, I don't know about you, but I'm already looking forward to sleeping again. Even though it's morning.
No, we may as well get the sleep we can while we can. It's in between adventures is the only time we can really get a good night rest. Even then,
That's true.
I'm still so like automatically. It's like, I'm mid watch, and kind of hard to fall asleep sometimes.
Yeah, I'd prefer waking up in the morning for the last watch, for that, almost that same reason. Not only do I get to greet the sun, but a night uninterrupted is worth its weight in gold.
Oh yeah, you can say that again.
So Davis will kind of say, so what are you guys gonna do with the bag? Are we? What's the plan?
Long rest before I can even continue that quest.
Gotcha. Um, I guess we'll discuss it on the road. And he's like, just lifting, putting like a couple heavy like burlap bags just at the back of one of the carts.
Is it Davis or Rock that had the satchel on their person beforehand?
I don't remember. Like I said, we just kind of said you guys produced it. So
Yeah, he said he don't remember. I don't remember either.
Nice.
One thing I
Probably.
sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I'll probably hand it back to Davis then once we're in a private, discreet location. I don't know if we're in the sandcastle or
yeah,
wait
that's
till we
fine.
get inside of a caravan or something or
Yep, yep.
uh wagon.
Yeah, he'll take it.
Mm.
What's up, Dragner?
I will approach Rock just out in the open and say, "Hey, buddy. Um, you may have already thought about this, but that floating thing around your head or around your body, you may want to put that somewhere else."
I mean, okay.
Just saying, it didn't matter to me, but undue attention, especially considering it's kind of where we found it.
No. You're right. I kind of just forget that it's there, honestly, because it doesn't make a sound. It just.
I know, it's cool as hell, but
All right. Let me. I will try to
well, at
think.
least before we get to Whitlaw, at least right now people already know they've seen it, but walking into Whitlaw may, it may
Yeah,
be a little.
I understand. He'll like catch it and he's like, "Hey, buddy, can you stop with the orbiting thing, please?" Let's go of it. Just kind of drifts there. It just starts picking up again. I'll figure something out.
Okay, I just don't want someone to try to take it from you.
No, yeah, you're right. I don't want anyone taking it either. It's still broken. I don't, we You weren't
Aren't
there,
we all?
Dragnar. No, but Dragnar, you weren't there. This poor. I don't think it's alive, but this poor thing was abused and tortured and made to do something that I don't think it ever was meant to do. It's it's broken, buddy.
Well, it's in good hands now. You take care of it. I just don't want it to fall back into hands like that.
It's the last thing I want. Thank you for reminding me. If anything, I'll try to just shove it in a bag or in my pocket or maybe get it stuck in my shell or something before we get to
Yeah,
town.
do what you gotta do. And then I'll go over and help Davis have like a little competition. I know he can lift more than I can, but with my constitution, I may be able to go longer.
Gotcha. For the sake of it, because it is a new day before you guys depart, I know that some of y'all have items that need to snap over to certain attunements or certain features. I don't. There's not too many of them. Like if somebody wants to roll me two d20s for Rock just to see what his portents are, we can make note of it. Should they come up?
I've had my one. Who's next?
Okay. And then if someone could also roll me a d10 as well. So I need two d20 and I need a d10, please. And then I also need...
There's your D10
Okay, 6, thank you. And then I also need a D6.
for the wand.
For Davis's totem. Okay, so he has so Rock has Quicken Spell today. Okay.
Who's got the wand of the occult?
Sej does, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sej, you can go ahead and see what your wand is at today. I believe it's a D6. Yep, D6 for Sej.
Yeah, I'll roll that. Give me 1 second. Sorry,
Okay.
I was taking advantage of Bluetooth technology and refilling my water.
You're good. And I still need those D20s for the portents if someone would be so kind.
I'll roll the d20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got a 20.
Oh, no, you're
Oh,
rolling
he's
20.
still
I
good.
did it wrong.
Hey,
Do it
nice
again, do it
going.
again.
Do it again.
I
Rolling
I
20,
keep
get a 20.
Cross.
Okay, so I got an 8 and
I keep
a...
forgetting the D.
Never forget the D, man. It's the most important thing.
I know.
Alright. Quicken
And then
Spell.
a D6 for my fancy dancy wand. Hello. Oh, hey, Davis.
Dude, this is time,
Hello.
Davis. Roll D6 and not die.
Oh, Danny.
Oh, I messed it up again, I think. Yeah, I did.
Hey!
Hey, we'll see how long I'm here.
Oh, shit.
Is everything gonna be okay?
I hope so. We'll see.
Okay.
That's good.
Alright. Do you want to roleplay or are you just listening in?
I can roleplay, I think.
Okay. So, basically, what you missed, for a very brief recap, the guys are still at the rest point. They hadn't left. We kind of backtracked a moment. And they've been discussing with Meeker what to do with the bag. Along the trip, it looks like the group is going to try to figure something out. If they can expunge whatever darkness is on it. If not, Meeker agreed to take it before you guys get into the city.
Fair enough.
That's really just been the bulk of it. Dragnar asked about his wound. Dragnar unattuned to the
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone. No problem. And then you guys.
And right now, me and you, Davis, are having a competition on who can load the most stuff in the wagon. I know you're stronger, but my constitution may be allow me to last longer.
Fair enough.
And then Davis, you can go ahead since you're here. You can roll a d6 for your totem.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll do the thing.
Yep. Alright,
That might be gone.
it is Bull's strength.
Strength, okay.
Awesome with the competition. Great. Fantastic.
I rolled a 1 on my
Yes,
wand.
with the bull.
So you have Bard then, Sej.
Whoa.
Alright, and if we're missing any of those other unique ones, we'll sort it out along the way. So we got Portents, we got Quicken Spell, we got Bard on the wand, and we got Strength for Davis's totem. Cool. Okay. Alright, so with that, a little bit of healthy competition between Dragnar and Davis as they're helping load up the different caravans. Even getting to the point where you guys kind of rush over to different caravans that aren't even part of the original 4 that you were helping coming up here with, but some of the ones that are coming from Volpine's direction and all that, you're just loading it up.
I'm kind of imagining the between Legolas and the dwarf about how many kills, but we're doing how many bags. I've got 5.
Exactly.
Already at 8.
Damn it!
That only counts as 1.
Exactly.
No, you cannot toss me.
Little healthy competition. But yeah, so all that being said, unless you guys have anything, Rock looks at his tower, puts his hand on it, and just kind of crumples it down. He's just, I just don't want anyone going into it, but when it actually crumples because of time, so just crumples it early. So, you guys hit the road. There's a total of 7 caravans, 4 for the original ones that you guys were traveling with, and 3 more that come from the east and are heading up to to Whitlaw.
Oh, also, Adam, let Danny know about the dispatched riders.
Oh yeah, and Meeker did confirm with the discussion that riders were uh,
Ahead.
sent up ahead. Supposedly, one of the messages that is being sent to Whitlaw is that those that claim to be the menagerie are coming.
Makes sense.
So, so yeah. Over the next, unless if you guys impede, I mean, obviously we need to figure out what you guys are going to be researching or trying to do. But essentially, this road trip is going to be one where the caravans travel for about 3 to 4 days, and as you're traveling along there'll be rest points, and you basically get another set of escorts taking y'all to the next leg, another set of escort, another set of escort. um,
I will ask if that's the escort is normal or they're doing that because we're here.
Meeker's like, no, they when they build up enough of a group and they send them, it's just to make sure no one tries to break off, or a head count is being delivered in advance, so they know how many they're expecting.
Okay,
Will
I
you
didn't
let
know.
me know? Will you let me know when a day rolls over for long rest?
Yeah, we can say I mean, that is up to you guys. Like I said, it's gonna be about 4 days, so like you can pretty loosey goosey for the first day. Switch over your spells and everything, and just be ready.
Yeah, but you could
Well,
long rest in the back of one of the wagons, though.
Exactly.
yeah, kind of what I would do anyway. But I think on the second day, after thinking on it a lot,
Mhm.
um, I switched one of my spells um for remove curse, and I'm gonna try to do that with the satchel. Um, hey Al,
Yeah, hey Serge, how you doing?
I think I have a good idea of what I might try to do with this bag. I might take it to Meeker if this is day 2 or whatever. I might take it to Meeker and get their help with it as I try, just to make sure nothing goes wrong. They did offer to help, and I intend on taking their advice on help.
Okay, I like the idea. I can tag along if you like.
Sure, if you wish.
Yeah, I want to see how this goes.
Now, is this the next day or the same day?
Uh,
This would be 2 days
this
after.
would be
Well,
basically the item rolls were basically just for the sake of the travel, right? Like when I did that, it's just kind of so we don't have to roll them every single day. It's just
okay.
you know.
Well,
If you wanted to do something before that, then we could roll it back and then do this just second day.
the only thing I wanted to do is possibly do my shadow history to see if there's something that I could glean about decursing items.
Sure, that's a fair one. That is a absolutely, yeah. Go ahead. So it'd be like one of the first nights, right?
24.
Okay. So on the first day of traveling, there's a bunch of discussions and talking, and says you're dwelling on your teachings and trying to recall anything that Surya may have shared with you at some point, or the temples, you may have picked up, or just something that you intuit. And you do recall that there is, as you mentioned, that remove curse spell. And then, Al speaking with Meeker, the group kind of traveling, kind of keeping it still hush hush because you don't necessarily want everyone else that's traveling with you to know what's going on. You're developing your own approaches to tackling this problem. And as nightfall comes, and you have set up for the first evening, Dragnar, you find one of the caravans as it's being, you helped unload it, but then you kind of go ahead and hop yourself into it, left alone, undisturbed, reaching out into the darkness, trying to find a thread of history, a story, a rumor, a whisper, and there's there is knowledge there. There have been times throughout where curses have been broken on objects and places, and as you're trying to look through history and look through the events, the one common factor is that it takes a group. It takes effort on multiple fronts. Removing a curse from flesh, surprisingly, is a lot easier than removing a curse from stone or metal, in that the flesh itself usually is aiding in trying to remove the affliction from itself. It's something that is not living, simply the curse is able to bond itself without impediment. So,
Other than
rituals
the
can be done.
ritualistic aspect, is there any commonality with words spoken or a book being used or something that I could glean that could kind of give them a direction as far as magic?
With a 24. Give me a moment.
You know, did the book that they were using, was it the same book or was it a
Yeah,
different
I
book?
get you.
Something like anything like that, they can kind of lead me down the path of what kind of spell would be involved or spells that would be involved.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to do another one, I have no problem doing another one to be more
No,
specific.
you're good on that. Don't worry. I'm gonna try to like play with your multiple questions in one, because you rolled fairly well. Like you rolled 24, which is really good. Um, the the thing is that you're as the shadows kind of pull their essentially the shadow puppets kind of come to you and draw in your mind and in this dark space the depictions of history and time. It's never You're not focusing on one group. There's like you see a group from the far east. You find a group up in the Ostrich Mountains. You find a group just across the open plains. Uh, it has occurred throughout history and throughout time, and the approaches are different. The one thing that you see is it's multiple people again approaching together, but I guess things that are of common nature are there are things that people are bringing to the ritual. um, I guess one thing you would kind of see is it's like possibly like medicinal herbs and useful plant-like substances. There's usually, when you're focusing on like a temple and those of like the faithful, there does seem to be holy water involved potentially. So more not necessarily a singular set item, but things that those of certain beliefs or certain practices might bring to this type. So
So are they more ingredients or offerings?
probably more along the lines in that way, ingredients that would be used.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So I will let Sej and Al and Rock and Davis and whoever else, Meeker, maybe he just say, hey, I I looked into the shadows and this is what it can be done. It's been done many, many times in different regions. The commonality was it was a ritual event and they were using certain ingredients native to their belief system, region, whatever, to assist them in removing the cursed items. And then I explained to them the cursed item versus the flesh, and how the flesh is more willing or is willing to remove the curse, whereas the metal or whatever isn't, so it needs more power to be able to remove or lift the curse.
Hmm.
And I tell Sedge, holy water was one of them when they were inside of a temple.
Go ahead, Dragnor. One more thing you can give me, try to give you a little bit of help, because you did meet a threshold. Go ahead and give me just a straight wisdom check.
Adam, are we recording, by the way?
I am, yeah.
Oh, you are. Okay.
I would hope so. Let me make sure.
You weren't streaming, so.
Yeah, no, I couldn't get it for some reason to stream,
Okay.
but yeah, it says I've been recording for an hour and a half.
Awesome.
So
24.
Yeah, okay. So with the wisdom check, so the one thing you saw often, it's a lot more difficult to delete the curse from existence. More often than not, they're moving it to another thing that is maybe more easily dealt with. However, there
Okay.
are the cases. Yes, it can be removed completely and expunged from existence. That takes a lot more effort and, effort and preparation.
Okay, so it was more of a transfer to something that was more reasonably dealt with versus just outright getting rid of it.
More
Okay, I'll make sure.
often than not. However, there are those cases in history where, like, multiple people banded together and worked together, and they approached it from different angles, and they were able to eradicate the curse.
Okay. So whenever we get to Whitlaw, you guys may want to, I'm sure they have some kind of library or book repository or something. There may be something there.
Yeah.
But it can be done. So it's been confirmed.
Yep. Can be done. Cool.
I could still try it myself. I faintly remember a way to do this, to remove curses, but it does sound like it would be harder. Is what ails you in particular, Dregnar? Is that a curse?
I don't know. I'm going to look at it. Adam, has it gotten any worse or still look the same? Now that I've unattuned.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Ooh, yeah, medicine with my. Mm-hmm.
Is there any way I could help?
Ooh, I got an 18.
18 total, or did you roll 18?
18 total. I rolled a 6 and I got a +2.
Nice. Davis.
Having been familiar with the item.
That's fair, but
I mean, if not, that's fine. It's just.
I will say no. It's fine. Let's just put it this way. He rolled high enough that he doesn't. I get what you're saying. Dragnar, you get the sense that because the wound itself hasn't really changed. Granted, it's only been 24-ish hours or so. However, it has not escalated in a sense. It doesn't. You don't get the sense that the Hearthstone was the source of it.
Well, I was more worried about it amplifying because I knew that. Well,
Yeah.
I was assuming Meeker knew what he was talking about because he said that Zarya was the source.
Yeah.
I was just making sure that it wasn't being amplified by a hag-like item.
It doesn't seem to be. Doesn't seem to have been impeded or amplified. But again, it's early on in the process. It's still there. And whoever sees it, you see basically that it's a shallow wound that will not heal, and it just has darkening around it.
Does it hurt, or does it just feel like a normal cut or scratch?
Oh, it hurts.
Okay, it hurts. Okay.
Yeah, when you touch it, it's not it's not like pain that you can't take, right? You can, but it's not pleasant to touch.
Gotcha.
Is Meeker around when you're?
Is what?
Is Meeker around? Or Would you have had Meek? Would you have been informing Meeker of what you're doing as well, or?
On the history thing
Yep.
or my wound?
Your
Yeah,
wound.
yeah. I'm assuming Meeker's with this
Most of the
most
time.
of the time.
Yeah. He's kind of riding alongside, as like an
Yeah.
escort.
Well, I would have like we would have stopped just the night before
Yeah.
Snedge was going to do his thing, and I would at our evening meal or whatever, I would have said, "Hey, I visited the shadows, and this is what I found out."
Got it. He's like,
So I don't know how Meeker's going to take that. 'Cause that's the first time he's ever heard me visiting the shadows.
Yeah. He's like,
But look at you.
more
Yes.
tricks. No. He's. Hey,
Except for the beard.
Yes.
Although the
Which
beard's good there.
the roots.
which you know what? But you know what? I may have to redo it because we are going to the Festival of Colors or whatever it is.
I'm
Got a white.
very excited about that.
It's very true.
So did you let everybody know that you were unattending to the Hearthstone?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Well, I know. Carlos was there when I did it, and when everyone got back, I would have said, "Yeah, I unattuned to see," and I would have said why.
Okay.
He's so. As you kind of told him that, he'll ask you. Listen, Dragnar. Can I see the stone? Can I hold it? Can I look at it? You know, maybe I can figure something out. You don't
Okay, yeah.
seem any
I'll
worse
pull the
for wear.
Yeah, I'll pull the Hearthstone out and say, and yeah, we discovered it, and that was discovered in the shack, right?
Yeah, the false
Yeah.
oracles.
Yeah. No, we discovered it in the shack in the swamp.
All right. Someone roll me a d20.
D20.
/D/R20.
Okay, thank you. So yeah,
Ooh.
you toss it over to him, and he's kind of holding. He's like, ooh, chili. Okay. Well, the sad part is I really never had to deal much with hags. So,
You really missing out.
I mean, apparently, but this definitely has. He's kind of holding it and just kind of looking at it and tossing it. Definitely a dark
Definitely
item.
spooky magic.
Yeah, it's. Let me spend some time with it. Don't worry, I don't plan on keeping this. I just want to see if I can figure something out. Maybe it'll help with your case.
Yeah, I've got no problem with you keeping it whenever we go into Whitlaw because that's definitely probably something I don't want to have on me. As a matter of fact, any of the other items we discovered along the way, we may want to be careful because of their origins.
Hey,
I
Meeker.
hope they don't give me too much trouble.
Hey, Meeker. How much of Seb's crew in Greenhill did you know? Did you know Wiggs?
Yeah, I know Gil Boy.
Okay.
Was he as salty
He had a
as
real-
ever?
I mean, like, wait, literally? Like, is it saltwater?
I mean, he
Yeah, he loved salt water because he wanted me to give him some salts.
Oh, yeah.
he gets all crabby when there's no. Come
No,
on,
no,
I'm full of this.
no pun intended. No pun intended.
No. Pun totally intended.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
I
I
know
think
Wiggs.
Okay, yeah, no, he's really cool with magical item stuff like that. I was just wondering if he taught you a thing or two or something like that.
No, this is. If you were to know part of my history, it would make sense, but essentially, the supernatural, the paranormal, it clings to me. It,
Paranormal what?
He
forces.
means like spirits, I think.
Yeah, specters, ghosts.
You mean there's
Corruption.
two of them?
Right.
What do you mean? There's two of? I
You said
lost.
a
There's a pair of
you
them.
said a pair of normals.
Oh no no no! Paranormal, not
Uh,
normal. The opposite, the supernatural.
You have to be really direct with our group. We're not
I get
that
it. You know,
great with
I
these
get it.
things.
The things that have been touched by evil, or things that have been touched by things that shouldn't exist in this
Wait,
this reality.
I
so the
look at the
mysteries
whole
are
group.
paranormal then?
I look at the whole group.
Yeah.
I mean,
Shrug.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't know.
I mean, we
I
did
think
go to
I'm
the.
just about as confused as he is at this point. I don't know
He
what's
doesn't know about my lineage.
Well, also we all went to the
Oh.
maze, and that was kind of weird.
Yes.
Does that count?
I
Bad
mean,
time.
Oh wait, did you know about that? Wait, not like the maze, by the way. I think the
Unformed.
uh and something maze. The
unformed as you're. I mean, okay, listen.
yeah, we
I'll
went there,
believe you, but I don't. That's hard to believe.
dude. Like okay,
I mean,
but
I get it, but like, how did you find it? I don't. Do you all die? Is that what happened?
I don't think so. No, we
Just
went through like a
open the wrong
door.
door.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we had to like solve a puzzle to open the door
A door
Yeah.
and a puzzle.
in the tower. In a tower that was like blown up on top. Like
Never trust a
pieces were just kind of
necromancer.
floating. Yeah.
Never
He
trust a
said.
necromancer. That's the first thing that's made sense.
I'll tell you,
I'll
that's the
look at
root of a lot of our
Meeker.
problems.
I'll look at Meeker and I'll point to a rock shell.
And I noticed that. I figured that was something he had done.
Not that we know of. It happened right after he came out.
You guys went. Well, that's.
Yeah, there's like floating books and stuff. There's like kind of this bluey, greeny, weird color.
I. I can't say I know anyone that's been to the
Can't now.
maze.
And
Huh.
it's still my youth, so my next destination after whatever we're doing here is to go back to the maze and
I
steal my
mean,
years back.
you don't look that much older. You look like you've just been tired and worn. I mean, it's
Also,
still.
just for clarity, I wasn't there with him when this happened. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
Nor was I.
Nor was Carlos. It was really just me, Rock, and Al of the people that are here.
Uh,
But our friends, Calisor was actually, yeah, Yarsi was there.
Yarsi was there.
And Grant.
Calisor, Grant,
Marb.
Marb.
I don't. I know few of those names. You really
Right,
have.
yeah, you know Grant and Marb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Old guy, bird guy. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and he points to the feather. Of course, I remember
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Marb.
And Yarsi was also a bird guy, but different. Bird guy that could actually fly. I don't know if Marb was real thrilled with that.
I don't think he was.
Interesting.
No.
But Yarshi's in a bottle now, right? Or a jar?
Yeah.
What you call him? Jarcy?
Mhm.
Fucked up. Funny with fucked up.
Listen, I've 20 years back. I've been exposed to some of that crazy shit too. I believe you. It's just hard. Like I've I've been on another plane of existence. I know what you mean, but it's the maze. How the hell did it? Anyways, okay, yes. Supernatural, paranormal. The maze would yeah, definitely.
Meeker, have you ever heard of the subtle realm?
Someone roll me a d20.
Carlos hit up. Hit up
Oh.
enter.
Up enter. Oops. Wrong menu.
Oh,
When he mentions the subtle realm, I'm gonna do a minor illusion and just kind of, I don't know, overcast like a really small night sky above us,
he's like,
make it spooky.
that's subtle. Mm,
But
the the the, the the realm of messaging and dreams, right? The one where
Yes.
apparently people's consciousness can do stuff. I don't know much about it. I know I've heard about it.
You ever heard of the supernatural entity, the Kodiak?
Mm,
Big Bear.
sorry, no. Don't know a
What about
Kodiak.
what about the Shadow Beast?
I mean, I know beasts of shadow and things, but like a title. You're saying title Shadow Beast?
Yeah, titled the Shadow Beast.
I knew a mercenary once that went by that title, but he was just
Okay,
a guy.
okay. I was just wondering. Just you have a lot of information. So
I mean, no, I'm sorry, but listen, let me spend some time with your spooky hagstone here, and I'll see if it is anything. Anything I need to be aware of? 'Cause
um,
it's cold.
uh,
I just know
yeah, it's
that.
cold, and whenever you get used to it, it weighs heavy on you.
God, I don't want to get used to it. I'm just gonna. It's gonna be
Well, I'm
my
just letting you know if it starts to weigh heavy on you, you've gotten used to it, and you may want to separate yourself from it.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for the
Oh,
heads up.
oh, and if you get hurt after you get used to it, you get hurt
Stings.
more with like cold, like freezing damage, like freezing, stinging pain.
Ah, interesting.
But it does have a cool property where you can go into the ethereal.
Oh, the here between.
Yes,
I know the here between.
Well, you can do it a couple times per day.
That's pretty cool.
yes.
That's pretty cool. All right. Well,
And you may not be able to stick around as long as you want. Sometimes
that,
you can sometimes, and sometimes you kind of hop back and forth, but
ah,
it goes away eventually.
gotcha. Again, I hope I don't. No, I just want to know if this thing was the thing that was causing your friend's wound to not close.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now
however,
I do have something else. It's kind of a personal item, but it's what I stabbed in Zarya's head when I killed her.
yeah, you showed it to me. The claw, right? It's got a little
Yes.
black fracture
Yeah.
on it.
Yes. Do you think that it could be part of it as well?
More likely that, because that actually, you said that this wasn't hers, right?
The stone? No, the stone was not hers.
Yeah. So I don't think that this has anything. That's why maybe it has something to do with it, but I don't think so. If that's the thing that you did to kill her in, sorry, if that's the thing you did to do her in with, there we go, English. Uh, and if that
Everybody's
actually
barb.
made contact with her, that's probably it.
Okay.
I'm sorry if it's personal.
It is.
Ooh, do you hear that macaw somewhere? I heard a macaw.
I just saw that
My
Kyle
God.
changed to
Yeah,
Marv's
yeah,
picture, so I did too.
yeah. But honestly, friend, I know that might be sentimental. That might be what we need to look at. But we'll look at the
Okay.
stone first.
Okay.
All right. So
That's all I had for the night. So.
perfect.
Oh,
So
I sniff farts. Cool.
yeah. So evening will come. Travel will continue. The process of slow rolling days. Fairly decent weather. Preparations and studies, discussions, and all that abide and go on. I know, Sej, you're focusing on some of your teachings. Dregnar has kind of confirmed that lifting curses from objects and places is possible, if not strenuous. I guess here's as good a spot as any before we pick up on the road with, I guess, as your approach when we get back from the break. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll just say it's 10 o'clock now. I know it's about 4 minutes off, so be back at 15 after at the latest or so. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to... I forgot to stop the recording because I forgot that I was recording, so...